Hello, I hope everyone is doing great. In the last video, we understood why area is essential for batch loads. Even before that video, as part of our end-to-end data engineering project implementation, we decided that our source file would be Netflix CSV files. Since our source is CSV file, in today's video, we will try to understand the types of incremental loads when the source is a file system. Welcome back to VJ Tech Talks. In today's video, as I mentioned, we will try to understand the different file system incremental load techniques. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and support me. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with my latest upcoming videos. Let's get started. What are the types of incremental loads we have? There are 6 different types of incremental loads. These are the most commonly and popular ones used in the real-time projects. Let me write it down. What are those? Number 1. These are all the 6 commonly and most popular ones used in the real-time projects. I know that if you have a SQL relational databases as a source, there are direct methods where we can easily implement incremental loads and extract the data from the source, right? But what if what if the source is a file? The relational databases or databases, if you have, there is a possibility, high possibility, easily you can get the CDC logs to get the data incrementally. As I said that, what if the source is a file? How do we deal with the updates? How do we handle the deletes? How do we process newly arrived rows? These are the big questions, right? Isn't it? How you can do that? We'll try to understand one by one. The first one, newly file, new file detection. Let's take an example. New file detection. The first one, new file detection, right? So then sales 2026 03 and let's say 10.csv. It's a one file. This is an example. I'm giving an example. Okay, let's imagine. Next, let's say I have another file 2026 03 11.csv. Let's say I have another file called same 2026 03, let's say 12.csv. So I have these 3 types. These are all the 3 sample. First one, I'm talking about the first type of new file detection. Okay, so let's say this is in my source storage account. This is my storage account in the source. Okay, now let's imagine we have processed one file. We have already processed this file till this file number 2. Let's say I have processed this file in the first attempt. Okay, in the first attempt we have processed till second file, right? 2026 03 11. What if that the next run I'm expecting to load sales? This is the file I'm expecting to load in the second run, isn't it? The next run, this is the first run. Let's say the second run I'm expecting to load this one. This is my expected next run. Imagine the source stg is my folder. Inside the folder I have a couple of files. This is daily, this folder is updating. Somebody is uploading the files into the my source, but there is a file pattern they are following. They're following the file pattern like a sales underscore and the current date, like 2026 03 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They are keep on, they are just maintaining based on the date they are maintaining. Okay, now the first run I have processed till this part, and the second run I'm expecting to process this one. Then how we can implement this one with the help of the file name and pattern. What are the prerequisites? Majorly, what are the prerequisites to implement this solution? Just let me explain the solution first, then we will understand. We'll try to understand the prerequisites as well. Let me explain you. First, what you can do is we can do file comparison. What if I do the file comparison, like I will understand that this based on the file pattern, like this file is not processed. Let's say the whatever processed file, this processed file name, if I am keeping in the one table, I am maintaining that table, and let's say it's a table called meta table. In the metadata, what we are doing, just in metadata we are just in metadata we are maintaining all the file names. Every time if I am keeping this file into the metadata and just I'm comparing with the previous table, so then this file name is not there in the metadata, I will process the next file. Very simple. A simple technique here is source folder files equal to metadata files. That's all. If file name, if your file name not in metadata table, then process it. Else skip it. That's all. Very simple. See, the condition is very straightforward, right? Just what I am doing, this is the source folder, this is the metadata table. The metadata table contains all the processed file names. Just I'm comparing this file with this file, and then if it is not there in the metadata table, then which means I can say that it's a new file. We can process it. And if it is there somewhere, then it is what we can do is simply we can skip it. That's all. If the file is there inside the metadata, then we are skipping it. We are not processing anything. If a file is not there, then we are treating it as a new file, then we are processing. This is the one of the technique. When this technique works, when this approach works only the unique and never used name. The file name should be unique all the times. If in case of if somebody is duplicated, if you are getting in a day the same number of with the same name, if you are uploading multiple files, there is a high chance of losing the files, definitely, right? The first file we will be processing, that will be updated in the metadata. The next run, if you are trying to compare, the file is already there in the metadata, then it won't pick up the new data file, right? So this approach only works if you have a unique file name. This is very important point. This incremental load technique works only for if you have note, if a file name unique, this will work. This is very important thing. Okay, if a file name is unique, then this will work, this approach. What if a file name is not unique? Then what is the technique I should follow? If the file name is not unique, then what you can do is just simply you have to compare the previous one, just what we are doing, comparing the file name to file, right? Compare by file name plus last modified, it's a date, I mean last modified date plus size of the file. This is another approach. If you have this approach, this is approach number 2. What we can do this case, irrespective of the file name, this is we are comparing with the file name, we are keeping everything. in the our metadata table. In our metadata table, we will keep the file name as well as the last modified date as well as the size of the file. The next time what I will do is I will compare with all these things. Definitely you will find the match. Exactly, you will find the match. If it is not matching, then that will process. If it is matching, then that will skip. There you are 100% ensuring that your files are not missing at all, right? With this second approach, I hope you understand this one, how to detect the new file arrival, right? If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on this video, then I will clarify your doubts. So last modified, all right, next technique is last modified technique. Then how this last modified technique works here? This is very straightforward. Last modified, so this is pretty much simple. In this technique, in the first technique is file, we'll detecting the file and then we are processing it, we are storing somewhere, and then we are comparing, right? But in this approach, last modified is, I will put you the example here, you will understand the simple example. Execute, somebody asks you to bring the data incrementally for this kind of scenarios. This is your file, these are all the files which is there in one folder based on the timings. Just somebody asks you to bring it for, if last run equal to 10.30, let's say, in the last run, in the next load, what you need, you should process in the next run. In the next run, roads, what do you need? You need file2.csv and file3.csv, right? These two we are expecting. How you can do this? Very simple, right? Straightforward. Like other example, we will keep all the processed date along with that timestamp as a watermark in the modified time. The next one we will compare the time greater than or equal this one, right? This, if it is a greater than of any time given greater than of this time, then we are processing all the files. The next time this will come. This is very straightforward, right? And next one, so no other technique, like, if the last modified timestamp, if somebody asks you to implement the incremental load, very straightforward. Just take that first the process all the files, and the next run what you will do, and you will keep all the file names along with that timings in the metadata table, and you will just compare the file name with the metadata timestamp greater than or equal to any file, any given file. In fact, irrespective of the file name, you are not looking at the file name, the greater than or equal to this time, then we are processing the all the files, right? This is one of the technique. And another technique what we can do is row level watermark. What is row level watermark? This will try to understand this one as well. This is one of the incremental technique in the file. If you have a file as a source, row level, see, there is an example. Let's say, let me put you one CSV file here. This is my CSV file. It has ID and the created date. I said row level watermark. What is this row level watermark actually? See, here earlier it was different CSV file. Now you have a one single CSV file. Within the CSV file, somebody asks you to load the data incrementally. This file keeps on updating. That on daily basis, this file keeps on updating. Just I should look into it. What is the newly added record or field in my file? Those newly added records only I should extract and append to the my target table. That's what it is. We have to do it. Like how you can do this one? Basically, first, let's say in the first run, the last run. Let's say last run. You have 2026 iPhone 03 iPhone 11. This is what you processed. And the next run, what is the expectation here? Next run is very simple, right? 2026 iPhone 03 iPhone 12. This is what the next run expectation. So these are the things we are expecting, right? Then how you can do that? How you can do that? So the next one is we have to compare this again, the same logic, right? The same logic. The created date is the field. You no need to store also. The created date is the field, and every time just whatever you have, then greater than last max up the created date, max up created date. Let me put it in the data frame style. Let me put it in the data frame style. How this is possible? df, let's say filter. See, column based, it's a row based, right? Directly I'm looking into the column. No need to compare anything. Just look at the column. Create a date. Greater than last watermark. Simple, isn't it? This is what we have to do it. This kind of cases, this is what we have to do it. You're looking it here, and last watermark. In the last watermark, in the based on the last one, if it is a greater than, then you're processing the next record. Make sense? This is one technique. Okay, let's understand the CDC file. The CDC file pretty much straightforward. In the source system is producing the syslogs. It's kind of a logs, right? The system log, the where if you perform in the source system, if you perform any insert or update or delete, and based on the flags we can process the data in the CDC. Take a pause here considering the length of the video. In the next video we'll continue from here, the CDC files, and there are two more techniques we have, right? Snapshot comparison and hash. That's all for today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.